I'm Jamie from Shamrock Girl World, and today I'm going to show you how I continue to grow jackfruits from seed. This is a continuation of my video How to Grow Jackfruit from Seed, where I grew jackfruits from February 2019. Jackfruits are large, tropical trees that have to grow tall and deep-rooted to support fruit that weigh upwards of 80 pounds or more. They also grow best in U.S. hardiness zones 10 or higher. So let's see how these jackfruit seedlings grow in Texas Zone 8B. We'll start on June 15th, 2019, which is where we left off on how to grow jackfruits from seed. The jackfruits are 4 months old. The seedlings have been outside in the Texas spring for 3 months and have grown several inches each month. Now in the start of summer, they are towering over the table and other tropical fruit seedlings. I plan to move them in a spot that will get a little bit more sunlight. They were getting partial sun on the table. I can't wait to see how much they will grow during the rest of summer. On July 21st, it's 100 degrees outside in mid-Texas summer. The jackfruits are 5 months old, and they have grown very tall over the past month. The tallest seedlings are about 2 feet 7 inches tall. There's also a smaller set of jackfruit with an unknown plant date. At the time, I thought they were planted sometime in March 2019. I noticed that some of the seedlings had dried and shriveled leaves on the tops. Some of the leaves were turning brown too. The seedlings were sitting next to and standing over a metal roof. I figured that they were getting singed by the heat and rays, so I moved them to a shady spot 2 weeks ago. It looked like they were still struggling. I also noticed what appeared to be fungus on the dead part of the seedlings. We did not get much natural rain during the month, and the seedlings were watered at least once a week. Not all the seedlings had the fungus, so I was confused about what happened to them. Today, I wanted to give the plants a boost against the unknown fungus and the setback from being burned, so I decided to transplant the seedlings. They were sharing a container for a long time, and they needed a little bit more space. I separated each seedlings from the pots. I also got a look at their roots. I wanted to see how much more room they needed based on their root balls. It was interesting to see how thick the stem was underneath the soil. In the end, I put the seedlings in new containers. Most of them were 2 to a container, and at least one seedling had its own. I left the containers on the ground in the shade so that the seedlings could adjust in their new space. On August 31st, the jackfruits are now 6.5 months old, and it's been over a month since I transplanted them. They've been on top of our rain barrels, which has plenty of sun for the tops of the seedlings. They now have new, thick, dark green leaves. Different seedlings were burned this time, but the seedlings were still alive and growing. On September 28th, I took a look at the jackfruits after they experienced an unusually warm September. In fact, September was hotter than the month of July. The jackfruits are 7.5 months old. They're still on top of the rain barrels and getting full sun. Some of them are at least 3 feet tall, and some of them are developing nice branches on the tops. They are still mostly 2 per container, but I hope to transplant them in the next few months depending on how much they grow as the weather changes. By late October, the weather had changed. We've had several cold fronts in the central Texas area and a few nights of near freezing weather. Because the jackfruits are tropical trees, they will not tolerate freezing weather. I kept an eye on them to make sure that they were not getting damaged from the light freezes. One advantage was that some of the seedlings were positioned up high and still had access to sunlight. All the seedlings were on the south side of the house, so they were protected from cold wind. The jackfruits were holding up, but it was time for them to be protected from colder weather. On the weekend of October 27th, I finally got my winter greenhouse. I spent the day assembling it, and I was ready to bring the plants inside. I took a last look at the jackfruits now that they were 8.5 months old. Some of the containers were leaning and falling over, but the seedlings were looking good. They still got sunlight and were growing more leaves rather than growing taller. A few of the jackfruits were with other exotic fruit seedlings, under a large redbud tree. By the evening, I put all my exotic fruit seedlings in the greenhouse. The jackfruits were on a raised platform in the back corner of the greenhouse. They should have enough room to grow taller. They will also have light from an LED shop light and heat lamps once I assembled them. I was so happy to have this sturdy greenhouse and protect my plants from winter weather. It was great timing because a few nights later, we had a hard freeze that sent the nighttime lows to the mid-20s. The jackfruits wouldn't have survived if they weren't protected. The jackfruits grew surprisingly well during the summer and late fall. It was interesting to see them tower over the other fruit seedlings and grow thick, green, and slightly clingy leaves. Although it's been many years since I've started jackfruits from seed, this batch was my most successful one yet. I plan to make a follow-up video of the jackfruits as they grow in the winter greenhouse from November 2019 to April 2020, when it should be warm enough for them to go back outside. My plans for the tree is to continue to let them grow and thrive. I hope to transplant the seedlings into larger containers. The seedlings will develop a taproot that will need to anchor the large tree in the future. Of all of the exotic seedlings that I have, I'm not sure if these jackfruits will produce fruit. They'll definitely not be the large fruits that we see in stores or on mature trees in tropical areas. I might have some luck if I can create an artificial climate that is warm and has high humidity for the jackfruits and my other tropical fruit seedlings. I hope that the greenhouse will provide the perfect climate and winter protection for the seedlings. It'll be interesting to see how these seedlings will grow in general in a climate with cool winters and warm summers. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to learn more about jackfruits, when and where to get it, and how to enjoy it, check out my video, What is Jackfruit? And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel and ring the notification bell for more videos about exotic fruits, growing exotic fruits, gardening, outdoor crafts, and more. Thank you.